And good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to season 5, episode 27 of the Leaders Only show and podcast. I'm Samaj.
And I'm Kendall.
We're brought to you by What a Change Mentoring and Tone Drone. Today, we'll be discussing a couple of incidents that are in the news today. Please invite your friends to check out the Leaders Only show, have a watch party, subscribe to our channel, share, like, hit the bell, and comment below. And if you're watching after the live stream, that's okay. You can also put hashtag replay in the comments to let us know that you were here to support.
Yes,
How you
sir.
feeling
Yes, sir.
today?
Oh man, I'm blessed, man. Can't complain. Sitting here chilling around, lounging on my day off. Finally,
Yeah, I can do. I
how
can
you?
dig it. I'm a little
Yeah,
tired,
man, heavy
on the
week
sleep
for you.
side. Yeah, man. Friday was the funeral for Shane. So today, um, I'm just a little bit tired, but I'm
Yeah.
good, man. I'm up. I'm gonna work out in a little bit. Outside of that, just blessed to have life. Feeling good. Sunny
Yes, sir.
outside.
Yes, sir. Weather is breaking, man. Weather is breaking. It is nice outside. I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna get my workout in right after the after after we eat and things like that. But I'm ready to go, man. And just like you said, yeah, just enjoying life, appreciating life. Glad to be here.
Mhm.
Waking up another
Yes,
day.
indeed.
Still
So
feeling
yeah,
young.
without
So
further ado, yeah, let's do it.
yeah, let's go. So I'm gonna kick off the first story, man. Student urinated on by roommate, criticized NYU's incompetent response. Ilona or Elani, I think, Belcher said she woke up around 5:26 a.m. on April 12th to her roommate squatting over her and urinating on her arms. Belcher said her roommate, who appeared to be drunk, seemed surprised that she had woken up. She said she immediately got up to wash off the urine and clean the soiled mattress and bed sheets that smell as as smell so rancid. I was freaked out, so I got up and I said, "What are you doing?" And then she says, "Oh, sorry," Belcher said. I was shocked. I was just in shock, and I was like, I don't know what to do. NYU spokesman John Beckman refuted Belcher's claims that administration showed little interest in her situation and said the Office of Student Conduct was involved immediately. In an April 12th email, Gramercy Green Hall Director Chelsea Whitaker suggested Belcher file her own police report because law enforcement could not enter NYU Residence Hall, which she said later that evening. She said the police struggled to determine how to classify her case, but ultimately categorized it as harassment. After Belcher filed police reports at two additional police precincts the next day, both precincts classified the incident as harassment, which generally gets less penalty time than sexual assault. So we're gonna watch this video and then we'll come back with our thoughts.
I have an update on my roommate urinating on me in my sleep at 5:26 a.m. on Saturday. I'm trying to make this very PG because I'm pretty sure the last video I made got shadow banned or something happened. I woke up to my roommate squatting on top of me, and yeah. So on Saturday, I reported it to campus security. I reported it to police. I reported it in like any way that I could. I was taking pictures. I got the evidence, everything. They said that an investigation would start today on Monday morning. It did in fact start today. They added to the incident report and everything's like fine right now. My roommate is still able to be on campus. She has had no consequences, no reprimands. She is perfectly fine living her life on campus. Meanwhile, I have no place to go. I'm literally debating going back to my room to go wash my bedding because I don't have any other bedding, and I won't, even if I like crash on people's houses or go to what they offered me temporary housing, I do not have anything to sleep on.
Yeah, man. So my take, very childish behavior. I don't know where their thoughts was at, what type of if they was under the influence or not. She said she seemed drunk. I mean, that seemed like a drunkish act. It also looked like it was a prank that wound up being broken up early. It could have been one of those things that they hope she stays asleep and piss on her, and then when they wake up, she probably thinks that she peed on herself. I don't know, but it's weird. It's stupid, man. It's a stupid act, and for the defense of the girl that's the victim. Yeah, I feel like she needed to be backed up. That's a serious matter. Um, and the school should take it as that. I mean, it's consequences. That was some childish behavior which you don't do. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it should be some type of form of assault as well,
Hmm.
um, not just sexual assault, but just assault, physical assault, maybe even battery. Because who's to say? I mean, I don't know what her body has in it. I'm pretty sure the other young lady doesn't know. So what if she caught some type of disease, or you know what I
Yeah.
mean, what if her skin broke out or anything, you know what I'm saying, because of this person's urine? It still has their DNA. That's one thing. The second thing is just how they raised the money for the Carmelo Anthony situation. In this case, not even just going to the financial part, but to the resource part, to where you just go get her the type of legal representation that she needs. Because in this
Mhm.
instance, the school is not responding fast enough, in my opinion. Um, it really sucks, you know what I'm saying? Because like you said, this is a drunk act, and it's not like it's your brother, your sister. Not to say that has to be better, but it's like, bro, you're a total stranger when you go to school.
Right.
Your roommate most times is a stranger. So I don't even know you to be playing jokes on me, pranking me, invading my space. NYU is they have a reputation for being a prestigious school. So this is something that you wouldn't think that would happen up there. Then you bring in, lines of racism. You bring in, has this person done anything like this before? Before we could just say maybe it was a drunk act. Like, what's her history? You know what I'm saying? What's their history? I know they say it was a noise complaint. That she had said something to her before and earlier, but um, that doesn't warrant that. Then placing myself in the shoes just of somebody in college. I do know, what I mean, when people get drunk, but I always would say that I don't like the blaming it on the alcohol, because I feel like the liquor just gave you courage. You know what I'm saying? So most times this is something that you wanted to do in some form or fashion, maybe not peeing on her, but disrespecting her, violating her, and you just found the right time and the right way to do so. Outside of that, I really pray that Ilani, she just gets some type of legal representation, so she could possibly sue that school, sue the young lady as
Mhm.
well, because if they're not gonna respond in an appropriate manner, you deserve to have some type of support to where you feel like you're not bullied or your voice is being shutted out. That's like kind of like the worst feeling, you know what I'm saying? When you 100% the victim, but you're not getting no support and you're going about it the right way. But say she do what a Carmelo Anthony does
Right.
and grabs a knife, you know what I'm saying? And say, while her roommate sleep, she go and get busy on her roommate. You can't say, you know what I'm saying, that I didn't tell y'all, that,
Right.
we did have an issue. I brought it to your attention, but y'all didn't do anything about it. That's the worst part, especially when somebody feels like the consequences doesn't support the action. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like a slap on the wrist. Then you also always think, in terms of race. If the shoe was on the other foot, we definitely know that it wouldn't be going this way. It wouldn't be this quiet. There wouldn't even be a thought. Was she drunk or anything? It would just be straight up. She hate her. This is kick her out of
Mhm.
school, expel her, make it hard for her to get into other schools. And that's the type of behavior that should be warranted for anybody who does something like this. The other young
Right.
lady should be suspended indefinitely. They should take it to trial. You know, there should be some legal action, and then let the cards fall where they may. But for the
Yeah.
school not to speak up, for this not to be, um, we fighting for somebody who murdered somebody. You know what I'm saying? Uh, at the hands of what seemed to be an altercation that we get in when we in school. So worst would have happened, they would have fought. Okay, cool. And
Right.
then you got somebody like this who you don't see nobody being outraged about. This is not flooding my timeline. They're not racing no money, and she's pretty much just being attacked. You know what I'm saying? Imagine your daughter, being at school to get further in this world. They say we need an education. Say this, that, and the third. So she's there. Um, in this aspect, she's innocent because she's asleep. Now, what happened prior to that, I don't know. Just the noise complaint, I don't know if how it went down, but nobody deserves to be, disrespected in that manner.
Right.
For the
Right.
person to do that, I just pray that they get, the right consequences. That justice has
Right.
prevailed. And if it's not moving fast enough, I just pray that her voice, gets louder. I pray that people, start examining these stories and really using logic. You know what I'm saying? If your child was at a track meet and they get into a fight, or and then they pull out a knife, they ain't supposed to be there. We running behind that. We saying disrespectful stuff. But then we have a young lady, man. She just laying in the bed and she get pissed on, and they're not doing nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? So these are the type of
Yeah.
instances where we gotta bring it to the forefront. We gotta keep talking about it until she gets the type of justice that she deserves. Me personally, I would transfer. You know what I mean? I would start my litigation, and then I would literally transfer. I don't want to be somewhere where if something like this does happen, that the proper actions are not taken to where I'm comfortable and I feel safe. You know what I mean? Somewhere you don't feel safe, somewhere you don't feel wanted, you got to go. And I know it probably sucks because NYU is like one of those dream schools. You go to NYU if you're going to get into, movies and acting and
Hmm.
directing and just the arts. So it's a very prestigious school in that capacity. And I know that a lot of young people dreams get shut down because incidents like this deter you, but the most high sets your plan. So do what you got to do, and let the chips fall, man. But just you're on the right side of justice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To continue to just speak out. And like I said, man, I just pray that more people just keep pushing this story to the forefront so she could just have some proper representation, because a lot of times, man, when you're in these situations, you feel bullied. You know what I mean? You feel like you can't go. You went probably to the police. That didn't go far enough. You probably went to the dean. That didn't go far enough. You probably went, what I mean, to somebody you can confide in. That ain't going. It's just not enough, and you just feel like, damn, is anything going to happen to this person? And then nothing
Right.
happens. You know what I'm saying? Then you take it into your hands, and then everybody calling you crazy.
Hmm.
So yeah, man,
Yeah.
I
So
just I
it's
just pray
good.
that they should get that help.
Yeah, absolutely. We pray that she get the justice that she supposed to get. Hopefully, the suspect get the consequences they supposed to get because it's not right. It's not fair. It's just like like it's similar to spitting. That's a
Mm-hmm.
disrespectful act. So
Mm-hmm.
pissing on somebody is a disrespectful act. So it's like, damn, she don't get no punishment for being disrespectful. Like this is school at the end of the day.
Right.
You're sent there. Your people not giving you paying tuition for you to act like a child. You're supposed to be representing yourself, the school, your parents, or whoever sent you,
Mm-hmm.
or a scholarship that you got, or however you got into there. Like it's also a privilege to be there. So for you to
Mm-hmm.
act in that manner and disrespect somebody, yeah, you deserve to get the consequences that come with that. And for that young lady not to get the consequences also can lead to a mental breakdown. So we practice and preach that because you never know what could trigger somebody and make them go off the edge. And that's one of the things that can make somebody can go off the edge. So we pray
Mm-hmm.
that she get the help, support that she's supposed to get from her peers and from the justice system as well and the school. So just
Yeah,
like you
I would
said, I
love to
support.
know. I would love to know where her parents, where they are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What type of, where her people?
Because
Because
most of the
right now,
posts, sorry, not to cut you off, but most of the uh videos that are it's like social media videos and reels. So it's like We trying to figure out where's she's not getting no big media publicity besides social media. It's seeming like.
Hmm.
Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry to cut you
No,
off.
I was just saying, I mean, I haven't seen no video of her parents or anything yet. So, I mean, it just seems so fresh that the video that we did get was like her speaking to social media, like, like a lot of people do, you know what I'm saying? When you don't get the publicity, you don't get the coverage, and nobody has your back, you speak out and you pray that, people pick it up, like we are doing, and just that other people, like I said, people in the litigation space, I pray that they can help her because she deserves the help, and above all, I just pray that that young lady gets the right consequences because she does need to be taught a lesson. You bump into the right person, that could end your life, that type of stuff. So be mindful of that.
Right, facts, because you never know what every reaction. I mean, every action got a reaction. You know
Hmm.
that the girl could have not reacted the way she reacted and waited till you go to sleep and punch you to sleep, punch you in your
Hmm.
sleep and may have to kill you. You never know.
Hmm.
So yeah, but that's why we practice. And we ask that you continue to stay encouraged, man, and be the best you physically, mentally, emotionally. Because things of these matters. You always want to see something. If you do see something, say something or try to, reach out to the right people, man, because things like this could have got worse or could have been a worse outcome immediately. And the good thing is the young lady used her mind before she reacted,
Hmm.
and she didn't act off the edge. So that's major, and I commend her for that. The weather is changing, and with the weather is changing, and with that, sometimes your respiratory system get challenges and things of that nature. So we always encourage you to eat right, take care of yourself, put the right things in your body, sleep, get the proper rest, do things that's productive that'll help you build. It could be reading. Reading builds your mind, and strengthens you and help you focus. Working out builds you up physically. Uh, Helps your health. Speed that heart rate up and down. If you're going through struggles with weight, you can help you lose weight. It's many things you can get from working out. Also talking. That helps a lot, man. Find somebody that you could talk to. Don't hold everything in. Don't bottle it all up. Cause that's when you explode like a bomb and then it's too late, Um, Find some it's starting to get hot outside, and Samaj is one of those people that teaches you about gazing and get in touch with the nature. Take your shoes off, walk around in that grass and get in tune with Mother Nature. Gardening, things of that nature, man. Just try to find peace, man. And if you can't, don't hesitate. We got our own suicide emergency hotline, which is 988. Give us some else. Give us something else, Samad.
Man, well, we do have the all white coming. So we're gonna run the advertisement for the all white. Above all, just love yourself, man. Everything starts with self love. That's about it for me, man. Because if you don't take care of yourself, if you're not loving on yourself, if you're not taking care of your health, man, it really shows. And you pass those habits on. So a lot of stuff is not hereditary. It's just a bunch of habits that been passed on.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna advertise this all white, and we'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Hey man, what's up? Top of the afternoon to all my So Focused family, friends, and all of my Spartan alumni, new and old. It's been a minute, man, but we're back and we've got a whole lot to celebrate. The All White is making its grand return for its 20-year anniversary, and trust us, we got a venue that's pretty much bigger than ever. We're not just bringing the tradition back and restoring the legacy, we're elevating it. This year, it's more about the party, the legacy, giving back, and celebrating greatness. We're honoring you and our brothers, Kevin Talley and Terrell Whitehead, for their induction into the Spartan Football Hall of Fame, launching scholarships for future Spartans, and we'll be supporting the Green Run High School football team. Oh, and did we mention I'm in full character because we've got a dope comic book series tied into this event. The storytelling, the energy, the memories, the impact, it's all coming together. We're bringing it back home to Norfolk, where it all started. It's going down Labor Day weekend, so that's your answer. Sunday, August 31st, 2025. Mark your calendars. Go ahead and get the shopping. Go ahead and spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend because this is an invite only event. So be on the lookout for that exclusive link to get yours. Stay locked in.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
indeed, man. And we'll be looking forward to you coming out and hanging with us and supporting such a great cause and just getting back together. Remember, theallwhite.com is where you can find all the information. And we're going to jump into our last story. Our last
Yes, sir.
story is whites only, colored only signs posted in Rockdale Elementary School. A group of parents said they are upset after their kids walked into Honey Creek Elementary School and found segregation signs posted inside the school. The signs were reportedly posted above water fountains and inside the cafeteria. A Rockdale County School District spokesperson said the signs were a part of a history lesson about Ruby Bridges, the first black child to desegregate an all white public school in the South. Still, parents voiced their disappointment about the signs on social media and a and at a recent school board meeting. Things can be taught in a way that doesn't inflict trauma on children, one parent said. Let's watch this video and come back with our thoughts.
Segregation signs posted at water fountains and inside the cafeteria. Channel 2's Audrey Washington is live in Conyers tonight with reaction also from the school district.
Right, and the principal said this all started as a history lesson, but the parents said the signs should have been never posted anywhere around the school. The signs were posted above water fountains and cafeterias, and the signs also said things like whites only and also colored only.
He said one was written in black and one was written in, I think he said a gray marker.
They don't have a picture of the signs, but some Honey Creek Elementary parents say their kids told them exactly what they saw here inside a school a few days ago.
Signs above the water fountains and in the cafeteria that said white only and colored only.
School district spokesperson tells me the signs were a part of a history lesson about Ruby Bridges, the first black child to desegregate an all-white public school in the South. Still, that didn't extinguish the firestorm. A group of parents voiced their disappointment about the signs on social media and at a school board meeting. Wednesday, I spoke with one parent who asked I not show her face for this report. She says because she spoke out against the signs, she now fears retaliation.
I try to limit as much backlash I can. Because
Wednesday morning, the school principal sent a message to parents that read in part, quote, "In this instance, the teacher did not adhere to the approved resources or recommended lessons provided by the district. While we do not believe there was any ill intent, the activity was not included in the teacher's submitted lesson plan and was not approved by school administrators."
my son was over a fountain drinking and ridiculed because there was a coloreds only sign above, and he was made fun of. Cookies does not inflict trauma on children.
And the school spokesperson told me that this incident is now under investigation and that the appropriate action has been taken.
I pray the appropriate action was, suspending her. Because me personally, in my heart, I don't think she meant any ill intent by it. But um, you question that because you didn't turn it in on your lesson plan. I think she was just on the fly, but I know tons of teachers who do stuff, little experiments and stuff that they don't always turn in. It just doesn't be something as drastic as this. I'm 50-50 with this one. I mean, it does suck, but I always, push the fact that we are disrespectful, to our ancestors, and we are disrespectful to the history, all of it, from when we were kings, queens, tribal, unified to the point where people were getting hit with hoses, having to drink at different fountains and stuff. So, and in part, I kind of wish that it wasn't the babies, so young. But I do wish that, more parents should do the job instead of the school, just explaining, when you get a pair of shoes or you got your lights on and you eating food and you got heat and you got air and you have water and, you have clothes on your back, how much of it a blessing that it is because there were kids, number one, that didn't have those type of things, but you got kids that were getting killed or beat up or ridiculed for drinking at a water fountain that didn't have, the color of their skin on it. Something as pitiful as that, something as small as that, it drove a lot of hatred, that energy. So when we, have bottles of water, halfway full, throw them away, you know what I'm saying? Don't finish all the food. We just take a lot of stuff for granted in today's time, especially with the next generation of today, because a lot of parents in today's time, they want to give their children the world. We got a lot of spoiled kids in today's time. And I don't like spoiled because spoiled, you rot. That's why you should water them. That way they grow. But if we don't know what we've been through, we're not going to have no respect, for a lot of these situations. In this instance, since the parents weren't notified, they weren't in on it. She didn't turn it in as part of her lesson plan. There could have been something just a little bit, underlining there, or there couldn't have been. I like to think in a positive aspect that she knew that it probably get some backlash or she wouldn't be able to do it, that she just wanted to do it. But I like to think in the positive that, she was just trying to show how things were, and the person who it happened to, that's, that is kind of like an argument to back that up because it was a young girl, I believe she was in grade
Mhm.
school, elementary school at the time, who this was
Absolutely.
happening to. So this was reality for some people. It's just
Mhm.
something that should have been spoken about. They could have read about it, and not had to experience it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't know no better, you believe that this could be the way school is about to be from now on. They're young, so as she said, other kids are making fun. And kids just take everything a little bit more harsh anyway. So when
Mhm.
kids take it to heart, their emotions, they're upset, they feel sad when they get left out of things. So just being mindful. I think that if this was a college experiment, it would be better, or maybe a high school experiment, if the parents were brought in on the experiment, if they watched a video on it, and then ask questions like, could you see yourself? How would you feel if that was you? You could easily, show this footage, show movies of these situations, and you could still get an emotional response. Although I don't feel like a lot of people respect, what we've been through until they got to go through it themselves. But just the age appropriation wasn't good, the way she went about it. So I believe, they said that they're taking the right steps. I do believe that, it should be suspension and even in some cases firing, depending on how how they measure her intent. Yeah. So that's how I feel about that, man. Again, protect your babies.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of agree, man. I feel like I said, like you said, I don't think she had an ill intent. I just think she just didn't follow the procedure and the criteria that she's supposed to follow. Um, I know back in our days and things of that nature, when they had these type of history lessons and things like that, we used to go to the auditorium. They'll host a play or something like
Mm-hmm.
that to to show how it was and to give you the story and so you could visually see it, and then after that you'll have how you feel, your outcome of it or whatever. But yeah, I honestly don't disagree on it because it's a good example. It was happened to a child. It probably was too intense for the age group, maybe
Hmm.
middle school and up. But at the same time, it was a child that it happened to, and it was a good way to display it. She just needed probably to get the permission, and if it's shot down, then she probably could have got the ways of backing through the community or through the parents if she go right about it the right way. Because it's not a bad lesson. Um, it actually it shows. about us, what we had to deal with, and things that you could relate to. But just like you said, man, everybody got to follow criteria and everybody got to follow rules. Um, and I just don't think she was going to get the support, so she just did it on her own.
Yeah, maybe a trip to a museum or something could very well
Yeah.
do that job for you as well. Um, I'm pretty sure that they have field trips. So I know that they could possibly, go somewhere and do that. Also, bringing the parents in it so the parent can
Hmm.
experience it with the child. I know one of the cool things that our niece Leah and Brooklyn and the other kids, Amir and Carter, they
Oh,
are part of the program to where they turn the building into a museum. So you could
mm-hmm.
turn your school into a museum, maybe during Black History Month or maybe during American History Month, just something to where you could do this, but it could be after school hours. You can involve the parents. The parent could be there to teach as well, so they can explain. You know what I'm saying? But again, if they're going to be by themselves, if there's no parent, the age appropriation, the school teacher, she should weigh the room when dealing with that because
Sure.
nowadays, everybody's looking for something to lash out about anyway.
Hmm.
So everybody's hypersensitive. So
Yes,
living
they
in
are.
this generation, you have to be mindful of who you're dealing with. Outside of that, I think it's I think it's a great experience that everybody should have to go through because I mean, more and more in time today, our history is being erased.
Hmm.
The great parts of our history have already been erased to where they make you think that you only went through slavery and the civil rights movement and things of that nature, and it's not true. Although some of our ancestors, what I mean, they did. That was a period where a lot of our ancestors went through, a lot of our family members went through. So in that regard, we have to stop being a disservice for them. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause where we look at everything as being normal, but their plight is what got us here. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Their ability to keep, working and what I mean, fighting through it. Although there wasn't much rebellion, which sucks. You know what I'm saying? But you can't be a disservice to those who laid their life on the line so we could, you know what I mean? It really sucks, when you know what you know because you sit back and you think like, man, you know what I mean? Why not again stick together so we don't have to pick and choose where we can go and where we can, you know what I mean? It's just like same deal. Of today. If it ain't my people, if it ain't my household, if it ain't my family, then so be it. So those are the type of things I think about, man, when we go there, because we took a steep decline from being royalty and our bloodlines being royalty and owning land and being part of different um structures, you know what I mean, before politics and stuff got here. We had our own tribal systems and things of that nature, so we were very advanced, just to see us go backwards in terms of playing somebody's game who behind us, and all it takes is the same unity. So I just don't like being a disservice or dishonor and being disrespectful to those who had, who were hanged and those who were beaten, simply for drinking at a water fountain. So thank her. I'll thank her for at least bringing it to the forefront to where parents don't cover and parents may only leave it to the schools to teach at some point in their child's grade school journey. But it needs to be known, man, what a lot of our people went through in order for us to be able to sit in certain places that we sit right now. It sucks, like I said, because we come from the top, but to be on the bottom uh, it's like a true slap in the face. So above all, I pray parents, more parents step in. If you don't want a teacher, teaching it in her way, or a professor teaching it in their way, or the system teaching it in their way, you teach it. You know what I mean? You get the message across to your child so they'll understand it and they'll overstand it even better so they have more respect. We're missing that humility in today's time. We're missing that selflessness with one another. You know, that's why I always say, man, we be stunting. You stunting on people, you stunting on your people, but you only stunting on people that are in the same space as you know, and that's at the bottom, you know what I mean? No matter how high you go up, you know, you still are looked at as a Negro, you know, a nigga, you know, and you can't get away from the way you look and the way other people perceive you in that capacity. We can get away from that by acting and doing things different towards one another, to getting our legal stuff together on paperwork, getting our rights back. But outside of that, you wanna let these kids know that every day is not going to be sunshine. You know, you're going to be faced with adversity. You know what I mean? No matter if it's segregation or whatever have you, there will be adversity, and you're not going to just be able to run away from it or go just tell your parents in terms of the truth. You know what I'm saying? This what this lady was doing, I mean, it was the truth. It was something that happened, you know. So that's the only thing. Just picking the right time and spaces to do certain things. Always go through the proper channels. You know, that way you won't have to worry about that. And if you're gonna keep it a secret from anybody, I would say don't keep it a secret from parents. You got to bring the
Mm-hmm.
parents in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that,
Yes.
man, that's literally all I got for that one.
Yeah, man. That's it, man. We totally agree. I totally agree, man. It always leads back to what we always preaching, man. Starting in a household with your babies,
Hmm.
parenting, being a parent. Just a simple change of commands, you know. That's what you created. You created a child in this world. It's your responsibility to perform and be take accountability and teach. You can't blame everybody for what they do because you're the parent. If you don't want it done their way, you got to do it right. So
Yeah.
that's where we leave it at, man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
where
So
we
in
leave it.
closing, this is the Leaders Only digital show and podcast live stream each and every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We appreciate you joining us for season 5, episode 27. We hope you enjoyed it. We also hope that you join us next week and therefore following. Bring another
Yes, sir.
person with you. Let us know what interests you, and we'll be bringing it to the show. You can always reach out to us at leadersonly22 at gmail.com. And we're brought to you by Would Have Changed Mentoring Inc. and Tone Drone. I'm Samaj.
And I'm Kendall.
And make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, comment, email us. Please email us if you would like to go community, pick up any story. If you have anything that needs to be covered, that's exactly why we're here, to pick up these stories that nobody really want to touch, to bring light on them. So we'd love to hear from you. We'll see you next week at the same time, same place. It's been a blessing. We
Sure,
love you
man. It's
all.
been a peace.
Remember, all the information is at the bottom.
Sure.